Well, cool. Let's talk about one last thing. We're going to talk about our top 3 favorite bands.
Okay.
Because this podcast just isn't about board games. The reason it's called MeepleCore is it's actually a play on words. Meeple obviously being meeples from games and things like that. But the core comes from the fact that we have a band. We have a metal band, basically. I don't know what you would call it at this point in time because the descriptions of these genres change.
Yes.
But originally we were called like a hardcore metalcore band, right? And as you can see, there's lots of core on the end of it. There's nerdcore and there's
post-hardcore,
and
grindcore,
deathcore. There's all kinds of different core type things out there. So I thought it was, it was funny to have MeepleCore.
Yes.
Because we are, in a band and stuff. So top 3 favorite bands for me. I'm going to say my number 3, August Burns Red.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they're just crazy. Like the guitar work in it's nuts. The time signatures, they're not so crazy on the time signatures to where you can't listen to it. Like something like Dream Theater.
Right.
I mean, I think musicians listen to Dream Theater. Past that, there's like small audience.
Yeah, they're like a musician's band.
Yeah. So what's your top 3? Or your number 3?
My number 3, I honestly had trouble with this. There's a lot of bands that I don't know. First band, I tried to go with different eras that I've been listening to and what moves me a lot. As silly as it sounds, but Chunk No Captain Chunk is number 3 to me. Their first 2 albums were just they're somewhat retro and they still have that kind of like hardcore punch to them. I like the melodic singing in it and stuff. And now their newest album, I didn't really care for it a whole lot. But I mean, their first 2 albums, and then I love the Goonies. So as soon as I heard that name, I was just like, okay, let's check these dudes out.
They have there are a lot of funny lyrics, right?
Yeah,
like they're just talking. There's no thought process. Really.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but they're not as serious. I mean, some of their songs do have meaning to them and stuff, but then some of them, like they got a song called "Haters Gonna Hate." I mean, I mean it's just it's just funny to laugh at because of the song title, but and they're young kids just having fun. But I mean, obviously they just came out here recently. If I thought long and hard, I guess I could figure someone to push them out, but for this purpose, sure, they get it.
Fair enough. My number 2 is going to be Memphis Mayfire. Yeah, it's like not surprising to you at all.
Yes.
But basically this band is, I mean, for me, I'm very, I don't know, it sounds bad, but I'm kind of linear when it comes to music because I do tend to listen to the same things a lot, right? Even though I do play like violin, I used to play trombone and I like classical music and stuff. But when I listen to music on the radio, or pause that.
Yes.
I don't listen to the radio at all. But when I listen to like my iPod or MP3s and stuff or CDs in my car, because I'm old school like that or classic like that. Anyway, I like bands that have like really heavy riffs, good guitars. I like the technicality of the guitars without being just, Dream Theater-ish. I like them to do a lot of cool things, but you can have some simple stuff in there. Some breakdowns, and I like the singing. I like the screaming and the singing. That's pretty much what we try to do with us.
Right.
But anyway, I just really like Memphis Mayfire. Super good vocalist, even though, your flavor of vocalist might not be inclusive of him because he's really higher pitch. But
right.
Anyway, I just really like him.
Just backing up to August Burns Red, I'm not too familiar with them, but I was listening to some of the newest album, and I don't know why I don't listen to them anymore. I don't know why I don't listen to them more. I mean, it's just really good.
They are really, really good.
I need to probably catch up on them a little bit. I mean, I have whichever one had Backburner on it.
Messengers, I think.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, I've got that CD. I enjoyed that CD, but I think I quit keeping up with them beyond that. And then Memphis Mayfire, that southern sound to it, man. I grew up, the bands I listened to growing up and stuff, the metal of that time had a lot of like southern feel to it. So it's, I don't know that. Although I thought they would have been from Tennessee, evidently they're from Texas. Maybe there's
still the South.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I associate the Memphis with.
Memphis, Tennessee.
With Tennessee, maybe there's a Memphis, Texas.
I think names anymore don't even matter.
Yeah,
people always want to look into the names. Really, at least in the hardcore music scene and stuff, metal scene, They're just making names that sound cool.
Yeah, I mean it sounds cool. Yeah, Memphis Mayfire.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, but it gets hot in May.
And they would probably August Burns Red would have jumped above them had they had singing. Being that I sing, I like to hear that stuff. So
yeah,
that's the only reason Memphis Mayfire probably isn't third instead of being, or you know what I'm saying.
Right.
What's your second, by the way?
Who did I write down? I wrote down Stretch Armstrong.
Oh yeah.
Okay, now look. Probably anyone listening to this has no idea who this band is, unless you were into the hardcore scene mid '90s. This band though, you know, I need to give you a CD to let you listen to it. Being How You Like, By the Grace of God, I'm not saying they're oh my God, hardcore people are probably slaying me right now. But for someone who's not heard them.
The 5 people that know.
Yeah, exactly. But they are somewhat similar. They have fast punk rockish guitars, cool breakdowns, and the guy, he screams, but he's more on the singing side. And then they actually have singing. What I mean by when this guy screams, you understand every word he says.
Yeah.
He's very clear. It's not glottal sounding. It's not real deep to where you can't make out each word.
And they're fun, right?
Yeah. Oh, total fun. That's what me taking a 12-hour drive to South Carolina just to see them and turn around and drive back. I mean, that's the amount of fun I have at their shows. It's just super positive, very fun. And so, yeah, Stretch Armstrong. Plus, it's a toy.
All right, my number 1 is Falling in Reverse.
Mm-hmm.
I should just say Ronnie Radke, if we're going to be inside joke here.
Yeah.
Basically, he was a lead singer of a band called Escape the Fate. They are post-hardcore with maybe a little bit more influences now, but he sung on the first CD of that band and then went to prison because that's how you become metal. And then after that, he came back and made a new band called Falling in Reverse. They reconciled differences. Anyway, I still liked Escape the Fate whenever Craig Mabbitt came in there and started doing some stuff. So, I would say that my number 1 should say Falling in Reverse / Escape the Fate. But the thing I like about it, I mean, massive influence on my writing style and my vocal patterns and how I sing and things like that, just because I really, really like his voice. And, he's not the greatest growler or screamer and things like that, but he gets the job done.
Right.
And I think for a wider audience probably, because when you start getting really crazy with your growls and start being like death metal-ish, then, I mean, you kind of isolate your audience a little bit more.
Right.
But, the fact that he has stuff on the radio and stuff, and I'm not one of those people. If I feel like something goes mainstream, I'm cool with it. Right? Good for them. It's completely different when you start doing it from their shoes. Now, I know what you're going to say. If you change your style and completely change specifically to get big and make money, that's different. But he's sticking with where he is. He's getting popular because of what he is. Other than the MySpace / Facebook era of times being crazy and just the whole drama behind all that and the prison and all that stuff. But the music doesn't change. I mean, I think the music's even gotten better. Some of his old stuff's good. Some of his new stuff's really good. I mean, there's some lows or whatever. But it's just awesome. I really, really like it. And I tell you to check it out.
Yeah. I'll remember whenever we had our computer room and me and my wife sitting back to back, and you told me about some dude that looked like Squall from Final Fantasy VIII in a video.
That was like one of their first.
Yes. And I looked at it. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of see it. But then, I don't know. That video was just super cool. I didn't really listen to anything like that. I mean, I guess at that time, that would have been considered emo to me.
Yeah, I think for people that don't know, it's kind of like a heavier version of My Chemical Romance.
Yeah, and so watching it, I was like, I normally probably wouldn't care for something like this, but I don't know. That video was just really funny. The whole Romeo and Juliet thing.
Yeah, not good enough for truth and cliche.
Yes,
yeah.
And I mean, I would just sit there and watch it over and over, and my wife would turn around, you're watching that again? It's like, it's a good video.
Now that's the Escape the Fate.
Yes.
When he was back in Escape the Fate.
Yes.
Yeah.
But still though, when their first Falling in Reverse CD came out, I got it and I enjoyed it a lot. Again, I haven't kept up with it since then, but it's
second
good
one
stuff.
added rap.
All right. Woo. Is it my number 1?
Yeah, let's do your number 1.
I love dad rock metal. So it's Pantera.
Dad rock.
Dad rock. So I mean, dude, I grew up listening. they pioneered a certain transition in metal music. I mean, I'm not going to say they are metal, all that argument, whatever. They did change it to a certain
And now
point.
they're classic.
And now they're classic, yes. You can hear them on our classic rock station here in town playing Walk. But, I mean, I've probably seen them, I think, 6-7 times. And a total blast every time I went. They always had a good show. I don't know. There was just something about that music. It was very raw sounding and aggressive. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's because it's held on. It's an emotional thing with me. But, I mean, they changed my outlook on music, when they came out. My friend, like, listened to Vulgar Display of Power, and it was like, there's music like this out there?
Yeah.
So that it was kind of like, I don't, not to tangent too much, but I remember watching MTV and when
it had videos?
Yes, when it had videos. And when I would sit there and just watch video after video. And when Nirvana came on, no joke, it was like, this is what I've been looking for.
Yeah, I agree.
And so, but then after so much of that kind of alternative phase, it was like, I don't know, I started wanting something a little bit heavier. And then my friend showed me that, and it was like, this is what I'm looking for. And so, I don't know, they kind of transitioned me into, I guess, what I wanted musically. So, good times.
Yeah. This is one of the bands that I get made fun of whenever their song comes on the radio, because I'm like, who's this? Which is funny, because we're like really close in age.
Yeah.
It's just that I didn't really listen to music so much earlier on.
Right.
I think it was like when I was a teenager, and then I got into the local music scene with a lot of local bands, and then from there I started listening to the local music of other cities.
Right.
Not necessarily stuff on the radio and major bands.
The underground scene or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
And I appreciate the pioneer, the pioneering that they've done for the genres and stuff like Green Day and stuff, even like,
right,
because post-hardcore came from hardcore and hardcore came from punk rock.
Yes.
So I appreciate all that. It's just something that I didn't listen to earlier on. And the thing is, it's if you didn't do it, it sounds really crazy, but it's hard to get into that later on in life.
And
for me,
no, I totally understand. There was one time I'll never forget in high school. There was a certain Black Sabbath song, just a song I didn't like. And the guy was like, you need to know your roots. It's like, I know my roots. It doesn't mean I gotta like them.
Right, yeah, exactly.
I observed what they've done. I mean, I get it, but it doesn't.
I'm a fan of purple, but I don't like red.
Yeah.
And red and blue make purple.
Yes, exactly. So, and I don't know.
That was a silly.
Whatever. It got the job done. I know what you're talking about. So.